Here are the 3 fights most likely to end by finish at UFC 323. First off, we're going to talk about Jan Blachowicz versus Bogdan Guskov. This is light heavyweight. Guskov right here, he enters. He's on a hot streak right now, right? He's getting in this fight at a hot streak. He's won his last 4 fights all by finish. You have it in my little notes here. And he got a TKO in his last one as well. So, yeah, I think, he's got like 14 KOs, 3 subs. That's right. If you look in the ESPN website, it shows it right there. And I think that's why he could get it done in the first or second round. I think I wouldn't be surprised at this. Also, it's light heavyweight, so these big boys can crack. And speaking of power, we got that Polish power, legendary Polish power, Blachowicz here. I think, I think the only way that this doesn't is like if Blachowicz can survive the early, that early pressure, basically weather the storm. But I do think even with that, I think he could maybe even get a finish himself because I think they're going to swing and bang. Who knows? Maybe Blachowicz could get the upset. Maybe, get some ground and pound going or something. But yeah, I think this one's going to be a really fun banger. And that does not mean that it won't go over 1.5. So just look at the odds, guys. But I think if you're looking for some violence, I think this is a good candidate right here. Moving on, we got Grant Dawson versus Manuel Torres as a lightweight on the prelims. And, I think, Torres, first of all, he's never really seen the second round in the UFC. So that's one thing to look at. That's kind of good. Dawson obviously has that wrestling pressure style. But, so I think, we could even say a submission from going from here. So, KO from Torres maybe submission from Dawson here, or it could be, one or the other. Who knows? Maybe, Dawson gets some ground and pound going, But, I think this is it's going to be another banger, and I think it does not go to decision. So let's move on. Next one right here, we got a really fun one I'm looking forward to. Tatsuro Taira versus Brandon Moreno. Is that flyweight? Very interesting matchup. Taira, he's he's got a high finish rate here, in the flyweights. He's strong submission game, right? Obviously. They usually do. So a lot of his fights don't go to decision because he's able to kind of backpack them, get the, body triangle, choke them out. Especially, I think in the first 2 rounds, it's going to be very dangerous, I think what it says right here, 70%. In my notes, I was kind of looking at like how many to ask, how many finishes he gets. Usually, it's in the first 2 rounds, he's going to get a finish going. The only thing I'd worry about this is, look, it's Moreno we're talking about here, right? So it could go decision. He's got the experience there. He's a durable guy, But I think because of Taira's finishing abilities, I think and Moreno does have that risk-taking style. He likes to take one to give one. That kind of cool Mexican style that we all like to see. But I do think I think a submission from Taira could be really fun to go. So if fight doesn't go distance, I think I think Taira by submission, if you have good odds, go ahead and do that. So those are 3 fights I think are more likely than not going to decision. Man, I messed up that little phrase there. But anyway, let me know if you're liking or fading this. Keep it all here.